So, hey everyone, it's Michelle McLean here, and today we're going to talk all about this question of, are you diagnosing, prescribing, and treating as a health coach? So this is a big topic. I see this a lot. So I listen into a lot of health coaching demos. I listen to new health coaches practicing their coaching skills. And what I hear and see a lot of is coaches trying to dig into symptoms, trying to figure out, what are the symptoms that you're experiencing. They try to uncover sort of the root causes of whatever the health illness or challenge that the client is having. And, then they kind of try to rack their brain trying to figure out, okay, what recommendations can I provide to help resolve whatever the health issue is? So maybe you're finding yourself kind of going down that road sometimes with your health coaching clients. Maybe you also just sort of feel like you need to have like a variety of medical protocols, health and wellness, lifestyle protocols to dole out to your health coaching clients. So maybe you feel this pressure to learn all of that kind of medical knowledge. So those are some of the things that I typically see or hear or get questions from new health coaches around. So if you said yes to any of that, or feel like you're kind of verging into some of that territory with your health coaching clients, or if you don't have health coaching clients yet, but you're worried about all of that, right? Worried about needing to be able to provide and do all of those things with your health coaching clients, then I really think today's video is going to be just for you. So what happens is, if you start doing some of this, with your health coaching clients, what you're probably going to start to feel is some overwhelm. You're probably going to feel incompetent. You're probably going to feel like you're unqualified or underqualified. And all of that is no way to sort of begin your health coaching career, right? We don't want to start off feeling all of those, negative feelings. So instead of feeling, excited about working with clients and looking forward to those client sessions, you might be feeling like an ill-equipped fraud, right? That you don't know what you're doing. You don't have all that medical background, and you're not going to be able to, help your health coaching clients solve their health issues. So I really want to admit right off the bat that I felt this way in the first couple of years of my health coaching practice. I was definitely doing some of that with my clients. I was definitely sort of verging outside of scope of practice. I felt like I really needed to understand their health condition, whatever they were experiencing. And then I'd go away and do all this research trying to figure out, what can I recommend to them? What can they go away and do? And, bottom line here is that as health coaches, we are not trained to diagnose, prescribe, or treat. And so when we find ourselves sort of working outside of our scope of practice, that's when some of these negative feelings can come in, and it can really start to take a toll on your confidence, right? I felt, back then I was in over my head. I just spent so much time researching, protocols and what was I going to recommend. And then I'd provide those to my clients, and they really didn't have a lot of success with them. So it really did take a toll on my confidence. I got to the point where I didn't find that very much fun, and I really wasn't sure if I would continue on with it. So I'll come back to that story a little bit later about my own personal experience, but I really just wanted to acknowledge that if you feel like you also need to be a registered dietitian or a doctor in order to be a health coach, then chances are, again, you're veering outside of your scope of practice, and that's what we're going to dig into here today. So the first question that I want to address is, what's wrong with trying to diagnose, prescribe, or treat? And I think I've, already said it. It's outside of our scope of practice, right? We're not trained to diagnose, prescribe, or treat. That's what doctors do, right? So if that's what you want to do, and you're trying to do it as a health coach, then maybe you want to go on and get some further training, right? Maybe you really do want to be a doctor and not a health coach. So yeah, that's why those negative feelings are coming up, because you are out of scope, you are in over your head, you aren't trained properly to do all of those things. So like I said, maybe, for some folks, you want to go on and do additional training if that's really the stuff that you want to do and you want to feel qualified in doing it. Another thing that I commonly hear that I really wanted to address here today is, when I ask health coaching students, how do you describe what a health coach does? How do you define and explain the role of a health coach? And I hear so many new health coaches saying things like, we help our clients get to root causes. We help our clients heal. We help our clients heal the root causes of illness, disease, all of that kind of stuff. And what I want to really clarify for you here today is that that is not language that we use as purely health coaches, right? I'm talking here about if you've solely been trained as a health coach and don't have other licenses or certifications, your training is as a health coach, then we're not digging into root causes. We do not say things like we heal our clients, right? Again, you'd have to go to a healer or a doctor, to get that kind of work. So why don't we get to root causes, right? What's the confusion there? So I think number one is that sometimes, where like it's nice to get the background sometimes from our clients, right? They want to tell you their background, they want to tell you their story, they want to tell you why this happened or how this happened to them, how they, got to be the way they are, life's experiences, traumas, all of those things. So sometimes that background is just good background to have, right? But that's all it is for you as a health coach. It's background information. We're not going to go and try to process that and heal, our clients. That would be the job of a therapist, right? So I just really want to be clear that root causes, healing, that's not the scope of a health coach, right? We're in the here and the now, right? We want to bring our clients into the present. Where are you now? What are you experiencing now? And we want to help them move forward to where they want to be in the future, right? So that's the time frame, I guess, if you will, present and future. When we get into that back stuff, that's really not our role. The other thing that can happen is when we start to dig into root causes and all of that stuff, is that can really, cause our client to sort of spiral downward and backward, right? Ruminating about old past experiences and traumas and things that they've gone through in their life. And we don't want to trigger them. We don't want to put them into that place where they're ruminating, where they're, going backward and downward, right? Again, our role as a health coach, our sort of way of moving is forward. Right? We're here and now and we're moving forward, right? We're always in that forward generative process with our clients. So if your client keeps going back into the past and keeps telling you the story over and over again, wants you to get to root causes and why this happened and why they're experiencing what they're experiencing, maybe they do need to go to therapy, right? Maybe they need some other medical professional to help them heal and get to those root causes, right? So we're more in the holistic realm where we're looking at the client's whole life, right? It's this whole life picture, but it's from that place of being in the present. So I just wanted to really address that part about root causes because it sort of falls into this kind of medical realm. So bottom line here is that we are not trained as medical professionals or medical experts. But of course, it's really important for us to have a solid background and understand health and well-being and have a good solid foundation of health and wellness information and knowledge. Yes, of course we want to have that, but it's not from that place of providing treatment or protocols or diagnosing or prescribing. So what I do want to talk about just for a couple of minutes is talk about, well, then what is in our scope of practice, right? When it comes to coaching, how can you really become an expert in that, in what we are meant to do? So to have this part of the discussion, I went to the National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching, which I really believe is the gold standard in our industry. They're really at the cutting edge of things. They're an independent body. And so I went to their scope of practice. What are they saying is in scope of practice for health and wellness coaches? So I want to just, read for you some excerpts from their scope of practice so that you have a sense, and then that's going to help us really understand, okay, what is in our scope of practice? What are the things that we should be experts in, right? So to start off, they say that health and wellness coaches work with individuals and groups in a client-centered process to facilitate and empower the client to develop self-determined goals that are related to health and wellness. So nothing in that first sentence in their scope of practice talks about us diagnosing, prescribing, treating, or being medical experts, right? It's not in there. Then they go on to say, coaches support clients in mobilizing their internal strengths and their external resources, and in developing self-management strategies for making sustainable, healthy lifestyle and behavioral changes, right? They continue to say, while health and wellness coaches per se do not diagnose conditions, prescribe treatments, or provide psychological therapeutic interventions, they may provide expert guidance in areas in which they hold active, nationally recognized credentials, and they may offer resources from nationally recognized authorities. So this is saying that if you have additional credentials or licenses in a medical field, as a therapist, as a functional medicine practitioner, of course you can bring that in. We can wear other hats under this umbrella of health coaching for sure. So then they say, as partners and facilitators, right, that's how they describe us. Partners and facilitators, nowhere again does it say medical experts. So as partners and facilitators, health and wellness coaches support their clients in achieving health goals and behavioral change based on their clients' own goals and consistent with treatment plans as prescribed by the individual clients' professional healthcare providers. So absolutely, we can help our clients implement recommendations, prescriptions, treatment programs, diets, from registered dietitians. We can help our clients implement all of that. We can help them develop plans around it. We can hold them accountable to that, right? So there's a lot of work that we can do if they're given those prescription diagnoses and treatment plans from other medical professionals. Absolutely. And then finally, the scope of practice says, health coaches assist clients to use their insight, their personal strengths and their resources, goal setting, action steps, and accountability toward healthy lifestyle change. So I think it's important to just kind of go back and then pull from that scope of practice to say, so what do we need to become experts in, right? So the things that I highlighted, it's about facilitating a coaching process, right? They called us facilitators. So we need to have a coaching process, a coaching framework, that we can guide our clients through. We also help our clients tap into their internal and external resources and strengths, right? So doing some work around that and knowing how to do that with our clients will be important. Goal setting was mentioned a couple of times in that scope of practice. So yes, we need to understand SMART goals and a goal setting process and be able to guide our clients through that so they know where they are today and where they want to be in the future, right? What do they want to achieve? And let's set some goals in order to help you get there. It also talked about self-management strategies, right? Helping our clients, become self-sufficient, right? We want to develop their self-accountability, self-efficacy, right? This belief in themselves that they can do it, that they can make these behavioral and lifestyle changes. So self-management strategies, what are those, right? And how can we help our clients really manage themselves around these dietary and lifestyle changes? Also, action planning was mentioned in the scope of practice. So yes, we need to be able to help our clients develop action plans, right? And then provide accountability so that they can stay accountable to those action plans that we help them develop. So that's a big part of our work that we do. And of course, behavior change was mentioned a number of times in that scope of practice. So we do have to understand the behavioral change process and how do we motivate our clients through and help them become empowered to make these lifestyle and behavioral changes. So, out of all of that, nowhere did we talk about being a medical expert, about diagnosing, prescribing, or treating, and having to have those medical protocols to provide our clients. It's that other, coaching work that we really need to become experts in. So I wanted to just come back to sort of my own personal story that I shared in the beginning, how I did some of that in the first couple of years. And, I was doing a little bit of diagnosing, prescribing, and treating. And what I realized after doing that for a couple of years and becoming overwhelmed and frustrated and burnt out, was that I really did need more training, right? I needed to go and learn more about behavioral change. And that really was the key for me. I wanted to be able to support my clients in making those lasting changes, right? Because I wasn't seeing those results with my clients. So, as I said earlier, some of you might want to, go deeper into the behavioral change and learn more about these things that are in our scope of practice, which is great. Some of you may feel like, no, I really want to know more of that medical information, and that's okay too, right? There's all kinds of additional things that you can do, other trainings and certifications, licenses, and things that you can get. Maybe you want to become a medical doctor. Maybe you want to become a functional medicine practitioner or a registered dietitian. Maybe you want to be able to do lab work and read those and provide supplements and, prescriptions and protocols to your clients. So if that's what you want to do, absolutely go on and get trained, right? To be able to do that, in a credible way, right? Because you've actually been taught it and learned it. For me personally, it was such a huge relief when I realized what coaching was actually all about and could let go of all the pressure to have all those answers, to be a medical professional, to provide protocols, because that really isn't my sort of zone of expertise. I'm not sort of, strong on the science side of things. And so this behavioral change process for me and really understanding what true health coaching was all about was just, again, a huge relief. It took so much pressure off, and then I started to look forward to coaching again. I didn't have to do all this research and come up with protocols that weren't going to work for my clients, and that could be potentially dangerous, right? So I just got to the point where I couldn't do that anymore. I was not happy with my coaching. I thought I might have to give this up because I just don't feel qualified either way, right? On the behavioral change side or on the medical side. So I knew that I had to do something, and it was definitely, some more training in pure health coaching that was the key thing for me. So those are just, a couple of things that I wanted to go over today, talk about our scope of practice in terms of that medical piece, let you know that that is not all within our scope of practice. So if you are trying to diagnose, prescribe, or treat, you probably are feeling really, out of your league and out of your comfort zone because you haven't been trained in that. And so you just need to make a call for yourself. What is the next step for me? What do I need to focus on so that I can enjoy coaching, so that I can, find those clients and do work that's meaningful and really support them in reaching their health and wellness goals. So if you have any questions about any of this, I'd really be happy to answer them. You could just post them in the comments and I will answer them after the session today. The other thing that I wanted to say is that if you are interested in really delving more into a coaching process, a coaching framework, wanting to refresh your coaching skills and competencies, I do have my Health Coaching Essentials self-study course that is available. It walks you through 8 modules. We start with refreshing your core skills and competencies as a health coach, and then I guide you through an entire framework and process for, guiding your clients through a behavioral change coaching program. I provide you all the tools and resources and handouts and all of those goodies that you need to help your clients through that process as well. So if you're interested, I'll put the link below in the comments. And I just really appreciate you tuning in today and really wanting to up-level your health coaching skills. Because like I said, once I figured out, what my zone of genius was and what my expertise was as a behavioral change health coach, it's just become such a pleasure and joy to work with my clients and help them see change. So again, thanks for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.